Whether you're a contractor, professional woodworker, or just the weekend warrior looking for the perfect saw to tackle any type of home improvement project, the C10FCH 12-inch compound miter saw from Hitachi is great value. It has a powerful 15-amp motor that's going to power through pretty much anything you put in front of it. Included is an adjustable laser marker, which allows you to adjust the laser line to be either on the right, left, or anywhere in between to show you exactly where your blade will be cutting. What we're going to do is slide our piece of wood down just slightly and make a quick test cut. Using the supplied hex key wrench through the small axis hole so that we can align the laser right to the edge of our cut. Now we know that this exact laser line is lining up with the right side of the blade. Now, to test this, we'll move our board back to our line and we'll make a test cut. And as you can see, the laser line marks exactly where the blade cut. This can be done for either the left or the right side of the blade. This allows you to have great accuracy in deciding where your cut is going to be made, which means you'll waste less material and make cuts easily and accurately. I'm going to draw an arbitrary angle on the board like so. Now we're going to use the laser to line the tool up so that we can cut exactly along that line without having to make any measurements or even knowing what the angle is before we make the cut. So I'm going to use our adjustment here. I'm going to slide the miter of the saw, making sure the laser is now lined up with our pencil mark, which may be whatever angle you need to cut. Tighten the miter gauge, and now we're going to make our cut, and it will go exactly along this line. Now you will never have to measure another angle and try to decide what the actual degree is. You can just make your mark, use the saw and the laser to line up to your mark, make the cut, and you know that it will always be perfect. This saw will miter from 0 to 52 degrees, right and left of 90, and features positive stops at 15, 22.5, 31.6, and 45 degrees, the most common types of miter cuts that you may need to make. The saw will also make bevel cuts from -3 degrees to the right to 48 degrees to the left of 0, and features a micro adjustment knob so you can dial in exactly the bevel angle that you need, and the saw won't move while you're making these adjustments. This is important because you can't always guarantee that the cut you need to make is going to be made on the first try. So by having this micro adjustment, you can get exactly the angle that you need, because let's face it, when you're putting up trim or crown molding or any other type of fine woodworking, it's never going to be exactly 90 or 45. Having those adjustments allows you the ability to make these perfect cuts easily and accurately. With its large pivoting fence, the C10FCH is capable of cutting crown molding vertically. This allows you to cut the crown molding without having to angle it against the fence, which can be awkward and difficult to position. This saw also features a large table which supports your material during all types of cuts, whether it's on a small board or on wider boards. Now you'll notice in your instruction manual that it references markings on both the miter and the bevel gauge. And I'll now show you how to use those references to make easy and perfect crown molding cuts. Here we have a piece of 38-degree type crown molding. The first angle that we want to set is the miter. And what we're going to do is move the miter to the 31.6 degree mark on the miter scale. And I'm going to lock it in place. Now we're going to set the bevel angle, which is on this scale here. First thing you want to do is loosen the set screw in the back by loosening this lever, tilting the saw to our mark. Using the fine-tune adjustment, notice I don't have to touch the saw. It's not locked in place, but I can still micro adjust the tool and it stays wherever I set it. Now we want to set it on our mark here at 33.9 degrees, and we'll lock the tool at that angle. Now that we have all of our angles set, pressing our stock flat against the fence and the base, we can make our first cut. Note that on our first cut, the portion of the crown molding that will be against the ceiling is tight against the fence. For our next cut, we'll change our miter from a right side to a left side cut and reverse our next piece of crown molding so that the portion that will be on the wall is now tight against the fence. To make our second cut, we just loosen the set screw handle to press the lever here, move the saw over to the other side at 31.6 degrees, lining up with our triangle mark here. Tighten, locking the miter in place, and now we can proceed with the other side. Again, our bevel does not need to change. We can leave that set, and we're ready to make our next cut. Our second piece, with the portion that will be going against the wall tight against the fence on this cut. Holding it securely in place, making sure that it's tight against the base and the fence, we can proceed with our next cut. Now, with these two pieces together, I can show you that we have completed a 90-degree inside corner cut, looking something like this, and it's just that easy. Weighing in at just under 42 pounds, the C10FCH is a very light and versatile saw, which allows you to move it from the car to the job site or wherever you're going to need it, whether it's being used on a bench top or on a stand. It's a versatile machine that can be moved and easily handled. It offers a 5-year professional warranty, which means Hitachi will back this saw and you're going to have years of great performance.